All right, so we're going to give it a little bit of time, let some people join in. Once we have a few viewers online and a couple people typing, I'll start talking about stuff. But basically, this video is here to kind of update everybody on what I'm up to lately. And, once you're here, come drop into the comments section, say hi, tell me what you're up to lately, what you're doing with USMLE. And once we have enough people online watching, I want to talk about you know what I'm doing in life right now, where I am, what's happening with USMLE Live, my company, my YouTube channel, the services I've been providing, which over the last few years have been, well, over this last year, since January 2021, the services have been extremely extravagant. The success is just unreal. Hi, Qasim, nice to have you there. We'll just wait a little bit more for a few more people to join in. It is 6 p.m. here in New York, so I'm just chilling. Got my hookah ready, hanging out with myself right now. So two big life updates. November 18th, I am getting married. So that's a big one. That's been kind of keeping me extremely busy over the last few months, I guess. And second big update, right now we are in my apartment. So I got an apartment. I just moved in last week. This entire last week has been extremely, extremely hectic. Not only am I trying to get married right now, November 18th, but I've had so right now I'm sitting actually in the kitchen area. I'm on the kitchen island. I've set up myself because the table I ordered hasn't gotten in yet, but behind is like the entire living room. I'm on the first floor. There's a little loft upstairs. It's all very beautiful. I'll probably do like a vlog later on where I kind of show the entire apartment off just for fun. There's a bunch of boxes here because everything that's been coming in, I've been kind of screwing it all together, putting it where it's supposed to belong, getting the house ready so that when I do get married, we can both move in over here. And all of that's going to be on my Instagram and stuff. As time goes on, you'll see more and more of it. And then eventually, once she's here too, and I'm going live, you'll probably see her as well. So, that's a big thing that's been keeping me busy. And ever since January of 2021, I've been offering services on Discord, which is what you're seeing on the screen right now. So this is an app that's kind of like Zoom, but different in the sense that you have communities. So like on the far left, you're seeing a bunch of little communities over here. These are all different servers. This is my server right here. It's called USMLE Live. I have another service. The second server right there is a stock server where I basically talk about day trading every single morning. So that's my other self-employed job I do. I trade stocks every day. I got into it, I guess, kind of around the same time everyone else did, as the pandemic hit. But by now I've gotten proficient at it. So I have a server where I tell people oh, buy this, buy that, just financial education kind of stuff. And we all prosper together. So that's another thing I do. But yeah, keeping to USMLE right now, January I started providing a service at $400 a month for Step 1 as well as for CK. It was the first time I was offering that kind of paid services, and I had 37 students for Step 1 and 22 students for CK. And it was a 3-month course. We went through the whole thing, and all of them finished their Step 1 and CK. They're applying for residency this time around as we speak. And it was unbelievable. It was just like my original YouTube videos where I would sit there and kind of go through all the first aid, talk about different things that are, in various Q banks, go through sketchy micro stuff, or, talk about Netter's anatomy and other resources that I'm sure we're all aware of as we utilize them for USMLE prep. So now here I do the same thing, and you can see right here there's a VIP CK room and a VIP Step 1 room. They have live streaming as well. So this server also allows me to go live and with video and everything, and share my screen, share the book, talk about stuff. Right here this morning, so the Step 1 course, that happens every Saturday and Sunday. I'm live over here on the Discord server. And when I'm live, people are in the chat room. They can say whatever they want to say. They can ask me questions. They can even ask each other questions and study together. As you can see, this is stuff from today right here. This was all people that joined today. They were all there communicating with me. Today's session was mostly about we were up to the biochem nutrition section, so that's kind of what we did today. Tomorrow we're going to continue on with that. Right now, this is going to become a paid service starting from next weekend. So right now, even tomorrow, the link to join the server is in my description at the bottom here. You can check it out tomorrow morning. So Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern New York time, I'm live on Discord talking about step one stuff, going through the book, doing practice questions, all kinds of stuff. There's no real restrictions on Discord. It's not like YouTube, so I could literally have anything on the screen, talk about anything I want. And that's pretty awesome. We all also share all kinds of materials with each other, so you can see some of the tabs on the left are rooms for people to come together, talk to each other, like a forum, basically, and communicate. You know, I see a lot of the comments. So yeah, thanks a lot for the congratulations, guys. When am I applying for the match? So this year I am dedicated to the jobs I'm doing, saving up money, and of course getting married. So, if all goes well, I'm going to apply September of 2022 and hopefully match in March 2023 and get started with residency. So that's the goal right now. And what we're seeing here, so when you get into the server, you'll probably land right here on the introductions tab. This is where every time someone new joins the room, everyone that's on the server gets to see it, and then you can go around in any of these other rooms, talk about stuff. So like a lot of times what you'll see is some of these rooms have like people discussing questions and stuff. That's pretty cool. Other times it's going to be like the live sessions that I do. So tomorrow morning I'll be in the USMLE Live VIP course room again, talking about more biochem. We're going to keep going and go through all of first dates. Other days I'm randomly live, just talking about like Q banks, doing questions together, talking about the OET, talking about other things people want to ask. So I address questions that people want to ask themselves. Now there's two kinds of things that people can sign up for. So when you go to the Enroll Here tab, you can either sign up for the USMLE Live VIP course, which now is $250 a month, as opposed to the $400 a month it was in January 2021. Or you can sign up for the Discord VIP subscription. Right? So this is $25 a month. What's the difference? So the USMLE Live VIP course, that actually gives you full access to my original USMLE videos on YouTube. Like I would add you to all the videos that you can't see anymore, and you would have full access to everything. You could watch it on your own, study, master everything perfectly from those videos. The same videos everyone else that has now passed step was using before, and the same videos that were on YouTube before the whole copyright issue popped up back then. The Discord VIP subscription, this is just a $25 a month subscription, which basically gives you full access to my server, so you could join live sessions when I'm live on Discord. And anytime I go live, I basically announce it. You'll get an email, you'll get a notification on your phone if you have the Discord app installed, and you'll see, I usually announce it like an hour ahead, going live in 1 hour or going live in like 30 minutes. And then you can be ready, join me. I'll talk about whatever I used to do before with the book on the screen, talking about practice questions, talking about upcoming changes to USMLE, and a lot of those things. And it's been unrealistically beneficial to the server. So right now in my server, online, there's only 18 people. Where's the rest of the information? There's usually a long list of, I think because I'm live on YouTube, I can't see anything else. But usually you can also see over here the total number of people in the server, and there's well over 700 people in the server right now, which is pretty awesome. So it's like my own little community. I've gathered a lot of people here from like Facebook pages where I talk about this, or Reddit, and of course all of you guys from YouTube. Depending on your budget, depending on where you are in studies, or you shoot me an email, we could talk about what might be best for you. If you have 4 months to your step one, the 4-month course is perfect because you get added to all the videos over 4-month period. You never lose access to the videos. And then each month we can also do 2 one-on-one sessions whenever our schedules allow. So that's like the full benefit of the 4-month course, and all the details are here. Right, so I've listed everything out. Or if you just want to be able to have access to the Discord server with all the live sessions, just like you guys used to watch me on YouTube a long time ago, then there's the $25 a month server service subscription, which allows you to have full access to any time I go live, and you can watch me live anytime, ask me questions, interact with me, stuff like that. because YouTube is very limited, right? So when it comes to USMLE, there's not much you can do on YouTube, as we've all seen. It's either talk about stuff without any content, or talking about things that are completely irrelevant to actual step prep. Now, as the world is approaching 2022, you guys are all pretty well aware that USMLE is going to be changing, right? So step one is going to become pass-fail, and CK is going to be the main focus of whether or not you even match into residency, because that's the only three-number numerical score, three-digit score you'll actually get. And that is going to lead to a lot of dynamic changes, because now, previously when you had or even right now, I guess, well, when you have a three-digit score that you get for step one, everyone was studying vigorously to make sure they can break certain barriers, like get a 240 plus or a 250 plus. Now that it's pass-fail, you're going to see a lot more people are going to be failing. It's actually going to be something that'll be quite a shocker, because, even now with the three-digit score, a lot of people do fail, right? People fail step one all the time. It's a very common thing. Obviously, no one talks about it when they fail, and then no one knows about it, right? But it's a very common thing. Now, imagine when it's a pass-fail test, people tend psychologically to think it's going to be an easier test, right? It's going to be easier to pass now because all I need to do is pass. Well, people who went in with, goals of breaking 240, 250, they often can't pass. So if you go in with just a goal to pass, the chances of failing are even higher, right? And that ends up often being a really big issue. And then after that, let's say you study as much as you need to and you pass step one. Maybe you didn't study as vigorously as those people who are studying right now for the numerical step one score, right? Then when you get to CK, every single thing you learn in step one is still relevant. A lot of those pathophysiology of the organ systems are still relevant. Biochem, immunology, the principal topics become slightly less relevant, except for ethics and biostats. Those things don't go away. Epidemiology doesn't go away, but biochem is not that big of a deal on CK, nor is immunology, the knowing the tiny cytokines and those things, not the biggest deal on CK, but you still need to know them as best as possible. Now that it's a pass-fail test, a lot of people won't know it that well, and then that's going to lead to a bunch of issues, and more people will fail. After that, let's say you pass, CK may not go so well, and then people will end up having like an average of, the whole nationwide average will be lower than what it is right now. That's my prediction, because people are going to go ahead and take CK after having done very low on step one, but they won't even know how low they did, because all it's going to say there is pass. And then the knowledge gap, the knowledge difference that's going to exist in people that are taking CK now is going to be so big that that's going to be a big problem. And people are going to not actually break 220, 230 on CK, which will make it very difficult. This becomes most difficult for IMGs, right? International students coming from India, Pakistan, China, Russia, anywhere else. We already have a lot of IMGs right now that get messed up because of ethics questions or because of the English of a lot of these exams. Now the CS has been replaced with an OET exam. If you haven't taken the OET exam, which is another service, I do offer help for OET as well. You can just shoot me an email. Very ridiculously bullshit exam. It's super easy for anyone that's American, been in America, speaks English, all that stuff. But if you're outside of America, oh man, do they really do their best to trick you. The audio section where you have to listen to someone talking on OET has the most British accent. It is so silly, right? Like, even for me, oftentimes some of the words they would use was kind of hard to catch, and I was like, what are they saying? Other times you'll see the vocabulary of the text they write on the screen. There might be a word you've never seen before, you've never heard of before, and then you're just lost, right? A lot of basically everything actually on OET, you cannot replay. So once they've said it once, if you didn't catch what they said, then that's it. You can't replay it to hear it again, right? So it's a very bullshit exam that kind of replaced an already bullshit CS exam, and it's very easy, but at the same time, depending on who you are and how proficient you are in English, it's not so easy, right? So those are all the things that you kind of want to prepare, make sure you're ready with, get into the feels of. Now, if you're part of the Discord VIP subscription, which is just 25 a month, then I go live now that I'm here in my apartment, everything's done, settled. I go live pretty much every day on here, right? Every time I go live, I add everybody, I send a notification out so you get an email, you can join. And I talk about all kinds of things, right? Either it's going to be a continuation of the course, which there's a schedule for. So I'll be going live, like for step 1, I go live weekends, Saturday, Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern. And for CK, I go live Tuesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. But other times I go live just to do practice questions with everyone or talk about other topics that people may have suggested and so on. So it's been really beneficial. The community is loving it. The people are really enjoying it. Everyone's got this little, network of students to work with. So it's a very healthy environment for those who are actively in the UAssembly journey, right? and then when you finish CK, when you're done with your exams and everything, I also offer networking help with like how to get a job, right? There's a lot of remote work opportunities available now because of COVID. So working as a clinical research coordinator, which I did and still do right now, is one of the best things for all of us medical students, right? Because you can get a remote clinical research coordinator job. You can just look that up on Indeed. And you could work from home as a clinical data manager where all you have to do is basically look at clinical data and work with the clinical trial. There's a bunch of things involved in that, and I can meet with you one-on-one to kind of help you know what you need to know so that you can be ready for interviews, put together a resume, right? That's another little service I offer as well. Just gotta shoot me an email and we can work that out, and I can meet up with you one-on-one and we can put together your resume. I could teach you the things you're supposed to know to land the job, prepare you for the interview, and then you get that job. They usually pay from like 25 to 40 an hour, and then you're set. You get to go ahead and just work from home, enter data, very linear and simple job, nothing complicated, and then you're good to go. What specialty are you in? So right now I'm not a resident, but I'm going to be applying next year. I'm looking to go into cardiology, but the job I do right now, I'm a clinical research coordinator in the head, neck, and thoracic oncology department. So it's been pretty epic. I got to see a lot of new medications that are coming out, mainly for lung cancer, some metastatic brain cancers. And the job is even easier for you if you're an MD because you understand the labs you're looking at, you understand the protocols for a lot of these clinical trials. And then as you're doing this job, you start seeing how USMLE tests you on some of these like experimental things they put on questions, So that's another thing that was quite the benefit for me. And then, of course, since majority of the job just involves looking at labs and data and all that, you get really good at understanding how to catch any lab deficiencies or alterations and understand what that might be related to. Any clinical experience is obviously great on your resume anyway, even when you apply for residency. So it all just looks wonderful. And of course, there's income, right? So you also get money, which of course is one of the best things you can get when you're working, because one of the worst things in the medical environment is this concept of volunteering, right? Volunteer work is one of the most bullshit things ever, right? If anyone is trying to get you as an adult to do volunteer work, they're basically just trying to get you to be a slave. That's really all it is. Volunteering was a thing in college. Sure, when I was in college, I volunteered. I did 300 hours at Nassau Hospital here in New York. That's something you have to do to get into med school. But then once you're in med school and you have your MD or you're working towards your MD, you are not a person who should be slaving away for anyone for free at all. So don't ever volunteer unless you think it's going to lead to an opportunity that might be very beneficial for you. Otherwise, if there's no money involved, you don't do it. It's dumb. DOs were excellent. There's nothing wrong with the DO. I've never really understood, people that stigmatize DOs, because I've seen it a lot on like Instagram and other forums and whatnot, and it's really silly, really silly. Because a DO and an MD, doesn't matter the title you have or whatever degree you have, you're kind of doing the same job, and that's it at the end of it. Like, no one cares. No one should care. And people that choose to care, well, it tells you a lot about how toxic they are. Yeah, see, so volunteer work at a lab, that's literally like, I volunteered too, right? I learned after that is just slave work. Almost any lab has enough funding to pay you, even if it's just minimum wage. So when they ask you to volunteer at the lab, it's not like they give you any other special treatment. The only reason I would ever volunteer or ever advise someone to volunteer is one, if it'll get you a recommendation letter. Two, if it's someone that you think is eventually going to be able to help you get residency within that same hospital, assuming you're volunteering at the hospital. Or three, if honestly you have nothing else to do right now and you're studying, but you also have a gap, so you don't want to make that gap bigger, right? So you want to at least fill that gap with volunteer time or something, right? Like I have a gap right now from since I graduated, but I have things I'm doing. I'm not just sitting or just studying. I've been working in clinical research for the past 2 years, and it's been wonderful. I actually started working in clinical research for the first time while I was finishing up my final year of med school, and while I had just finished step one. So after you're done with your step one exam, you can easily start applying for clinical research coordinator jobs, and now you can start applying for remote clinical research coordinator jobs, which is pretty epic, right? So you can be home, you can be studying, and you can be doing whatever little meetings or data entry or any other clinical research related stuff you might need to do. So that's something that I heavily encourage all medical students to look into. Because as medical students, one of the biggest problems of being in med school isn't the school aspect itself. All you have to do in med school is study, and studying is its own little dilemma, right? The biggest difficulty, at least for me and what I saw, was that while I was in med school, I had friends that had finished college and started earning 95K to 100K to more than that as I was going through med school. So I had all these friends that had substantial income, buying cars, eventually marrying their girlfriend, getting fancy things for themselves, going on vacations and exploring the world, right? While I was studying. So that's the part, in my opinion, that makes med school or graduate school in general extremely difficult, right? But I decided to exploit my talents, right? I love teaching. I'm very good at it. I think I do a really good job breaking things down, helping people understand it, helping people learn it. So I use that to kind of develop myself a business. And the second business I do is I actually do the stock thing, right? So this is my other server here, where basically every single day I go live and I talk about things I'm buying, giving people advice. I post a lot of analytical things for stocks, graphs and stuff. I'm very good at this too because not only do I have experience, but also because I was a math major, and I think in many ways that helped me understand graphs and trends a lot more. So I like send out alerts to people that are on the server. You can see this is a smaller server. I have 23 people offline, 7 that are online right now. Every single morning I'll send them a lot of alerts telling them things to watch out for, stocks to look into, stuff like that. That's my other source of income, right? So that's two major sources of income that I kind of worked really hard to develop for myself, and I'm utilizing that for myself the best as I can. So everyone should be doing something for an income. It's no reason to not have an income just because you're studying, and it's something that we have to do because no matter what you're doing in life, money is unfortunately extremely critical. So that's kind of what I wanted to get on and update you guys on. Getting married in my apartment now and offering services. I have the US Only Live VIP course, and I have the Discord subscription. Join the Discord server, check it out. Tomorrow I'll be live on Discord at 10 a.m. Eastern to talk about more biochem stuff. And after that, from next week on, it'll be for people that are part of the Discord VIP subscription. They'll be able to see the live sessions. Anyone that's in the US Only Live course will also be able to see the live sessions. Plus, they'll have access to my YouTube videos that are now privatized due to copyrights. And I guess that's about it. So thanks a lot for joining. I hope everyone's studying hard. And I'll see you guys around. Email me if you have any questions, and keep working hard.